Level 1. The Errand Boy. You're 16. You're standing outside a tire shop in Culiacan, Sinaloa, and a man you've known your whole life hands you a folded piece of paper. He tells you to walk it 3 blocks to the yellow house. Don't open it. Don't stop. Don't look at anyone. You do exactly that. You get back. He hands you 50 pesos and says, "Good. That's it. That's your first day." Level 2. The Watcher. You're 16. The man from the tire shop has a name now. Tío Raúl. He's not your uncle, but everyone calls him that. He finds you outside school one Tuesday and makes you an offer you can't refuse. Your new job is simple. You sit at the corner of Calle Insurgentes, near the Central Market, from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. every day. You watch. You count. How many times does the gray pickup pass? Does the man at the fruit stand make calls on a flip phone or a smartphone? Does the woman who walks her dog at 8 a.m. always walk the same route? You write it all down in a school notebook. Raúl picks it up every 3 days. You earn 2,000 pesos a week, about $120, more than your father makes in a month driving a taxi. You don't know it yet, but you're not a lookout. Lookouts watch for cops. You're watching everything else. You're watching patterns. Raúl is teaching you something very specific. 3 months in, you notice the fruit stand man switches phones on the 15th of every month. You write it down. Raúl reads it, looks up at you, and nods slowly. "You see things," he says. That's the highest compliment you will ever receive from him. Level 3. The Listener. You're 19. Raúl introduces you to a man named El Ciego, the blind one, though both his eyes work fine. El Ciego runs a small operation out of a back room above a hardware store in Navolato. The room has 3 computers, 2 police scanners, and a wall covered in index cards connected by colored string. Your job is to listen. The scanners pick up police radio frequencies. You learn the codes. You learn the difference between a routine traffic stop and a raid being coordinated. You log the patrol patterns of the Culiacan Municipal Police, the Sinaloa State Police, and the Federal Guardia Nacional, noting when they overlap and, more importantly, when they don't. You also start learning about phones, which ones can be tracked, how the DEA and Mexico's FGR use IMSI catchers to scoop up cell signals in a neighborhood. You learn that a phone used more than 72 hours is already dirty. You enforce a rotation system for 6 field operatives. You earn $800 a month, cash, in an envelope. You move into a 2-bedroom apartment. You buy your mother a washing machine, but your girlfriend asks why you're always distracted. Why you flinch when a car slows down outside. Why you never leave your phone in the same place twice. You don't have a good answer. Level 4. The Analyst. You're 22. El Ciego is arrested on a Tuesday morning. By Wednesday, you have already moved the hardware store operation to 3 different locations, wiped the computers, and burned the index cards. You weren't told to do this. You just did it. Instinct. Raúl notices. You're moved up. Now you work directly for a plaza boss named Señor Flores. You never meet him in person for the first 4 months. Everything goes through intermediaries. This is by design. You learn the word compartmentalization. The idea is simple. No single person should ever know enough to bring down the whole structure. Your job is now to build and maintain the intelligence picture for the entire Sinaloa corridor, roughly 600 kilometers of territory. You track law enforcement movement, rival cartel activity from CJNG pushing north, and internal threats. Who inside the organization is talking too much, spending too much, acting strange? You compile weekly reports using encrypted messaging on custom-modified phones. You never write names. Everyone is a number. You earn $4,000 a month. You also earn something else. You know things, dangerous things, and everybody around you knows that you know them. For the first time, you keep something for protection within reach at all times. Level 5. The Fixer. You're 25. A federal agent named Captain Herrera starts showing up in the intelligence reports too often. He's been asking questions in 3 different towns. 2 of your informants flag him independently. That means he's real and he's working a real case. Señor Flores asks you what to do. You lay out 3 options. 1 involves money, 1 involves leverage. You've already identified that Herrera has a brother with serious financial and personal problems. 1 involves removing him from the equation entirely, permanently. You recommend the second option. It's cleaner. No body means no martyr, no federal investigation. Herrera starts taking a monthly payment of 45,000 pesos within 6 weeks. He quietly closes the case. You didn't pull a trigger. You didn't hand over an envelope, but you built the outcome from nothing. Flores meets you in person. At a ranch outside Badiraguato, over coffee, he shakes your hand and gives you a name, El Arquitecto, the architect. You earn $12,000 a month now. You have a house in a gated community registered in your cousin's name. You drive a truck worth $60,000 registered to a shell company. But 3 of the 6 people who knew El Ciego's old operation are now dead. 2 in shootings, 1 in prison. You don't know if those are connected. That uncertainty is now permanent. It never goes away. Level 6, the counterintelligence chief. You're 28. You now have a budget, a real one. $400,000 a year to run counterintelligence for the entire organization's northern operations. You build a team of 11 people, 3 former state police officers, 2 IT specialists who monitor social media across 8 cities, 1 man whose only job is to follow your own operatives and watch for suspicious behavior, and 5 informants embedded in rival organizations, 2 law enforcement agencies, and 1 inside the office of a Sinaloa state legislator. You create a mole detection protocol. Every time there's a breach, a raid, an arrest, a shipment seizure, you run a process. Who knew what, when they knew it, who they talked to. You work backward like an engineer. In 14 months, you identify 3 traitors inside the organization. You report them. You don't ask what happens next. You don't need to. You earn $30,000 a month. On paper, you own a small import business registered in Hermosillo. Your mother thinks you work in logistics. She's proud of you. You visit once a month and eat the food she makes and don't say anything real. That hour is the only thing in your life that still feels normal. Level 7, the golden cage. You're 32. You are the most protected and most dangerous man in the organization that nobody has heard of. That's exactly how it's supposed to work. Your budget is now unlimited for practical purposes. You have properties in 3 countries through 6 layers of shell companies. You earn $80,000 a month. You have never held a firearm in the line of duty. You have never moved a shipment. You have never stood on a corner. And yet, you cannot travel commercially. Your face is in the DEA's system. You've heard your description, not your name, is on a classified HSI watch list. You communicate through a chain of intermediaries so layered that it takes 3 days for a message to reach you, and 3 days for your reply to go back. You haven't used a personal phone in 4 years. You have a daughter. She's 3. She lives in Guadalajara with her mother. You've seen her 11 times. You have everything. You can go nowhere. You can trust no one. The cage has no bars. That's what makes it perfect. Level 8, the fall. You're 35. It starts with a phone. One of your operatives gets lazy. He uses the same device twice in 1 week in Nogales. The DEA is running a signal collection operation in that corridor. They ping the device both times. They have a pattern. They pull on that thread. 3 months later, one of your outer ring informants is arrested crossing into Arizona. Under interrogation and the offer of a cooperation agreement, he gives them a code name, El Arquitecto. 2 months after that, a former state police officer on your team is picked up on an unrelated weapons charge. He knows more. He takes the deal. They have enough. On a Thursday morning in March, Mexican Navy Special Operations Forces, coordinated with the DEA, hit 3 locations simultaneously. Your house in Mazatlan, a safe house in Culiacan, a ranch outside Badiraguato you visited twice 3 years ago. You're not at any of them. You're in a rented apartment in Hermosillo, registered to nobody, where you've been for 6 weeks because your own protocols told you to move. Your own system bought you 6 weeks. But your driver, the only person who knows where you are, was stopped at a checkpoint 2 hours earlier. He held out as long as he could. The team comes through the door at 6:14 a.m. You don't run. You sit at the kitchen table with your hands flat on the surface, the way Raul told you to years ago. Don't give them a reason, he said. The moment is already over. You are extradited to the United States 14 months later, tried in the Southern District of New York. 23 cooperating witnesses, 11,000 pages of evidence, intercepts from 4 surveillance operations spanning 8 years, life plus 30 years. ADX, Florence, Colorado, the federal supermax. 23 hours a day in your cell, a window the size of a paperback book facing a concrete wall. You are 37 years old. Level 9. The Cycle. 6 months after your arrest, there is a 23-year-old named Rodrigo sitting in the back room of a car wash in Culiacan. A man he knows as El Primo is explaining patterns to him, how to read them, how to see what others miss. There's a laptop, a notebook, and a police scanner on the table. Rodrigo is sharp. He's always noticed things. He will earn 3,000 pesos a week to start. He has already said yes. He doesn't know your name. He doesn't need to. The position is the same. The structure rebuilt around your absence in roughly 90 days, the way a river roots around a stone. The DEA estimates the Sinaloa network generates between 19 and 29 billion US dollars in annual revenue. The U.S. State Department describes it as one of the most sophisticated criminal enterprises ever documented, with counter-surveillance capabilities comparable to a state intelligence service. Rodrigo closes his notebook and picks up the scanner. A new pattern begins. This is the organization, not a man, not a name, a system, patient, adaptive, and completely indifferent to the people who move through it. It ran before you. It runs after you. And somewhere in Culiacan tonight, a kid is sitting somewhere quiet, learning to see things other people miss, not yet understanding what he's becoming. The machine doesn't mourn. It just finds the next gear.